We've taught you now over the last months. I've spoken to the coaches and they're like, look, we've really pushed Luke the whole months. Whenever he does do things, he makes money. And when he doesn't, he doesn't. And that's true for a business on your stage. On my stage, it's a little less connected to my time because I have a team. But the reason why I have a team is because I was extremely consistent over years until I got there. And we have clients in this very program that they were consistent, but not even over years like me, but just over 1 year. They built a team and they could now lean back and be like, yo, I'm in Miami now eating steak while my team is making 500K a month. Or even if it's in a smaller scale, like I could chill and I got my fucking lead gen, just make me sales calls. But in order to get to that point where you can now be less consistent, you have to be ultra consistent first to get a couple of good months back to back so you can afford someone to hire that. But if you're now inconsistent at your level, that's what you're going to get. The moment you stop doing lead gen, that's the moment you stop getting money.
Yeah. So, I mean, like how much are the people you just referenced, like how much were they making monthly before they started to put on a team, like by themselves? I mean,
I would say roughly 10K a month, 10 to 15K, where they then said like, okay, out of my monthly expenses, I get 10K a month roughly in cash flow. I spend maybe 3K a month on food and rent and all that jazz. And if I hire someone for 2K, I can afford that easily, right? It depends on your spend that you have. It's half a year where you live a little frugally, right? Because 3 months you want to get cash flow up and be consistent, and then you hire someone, and it's probably going to take 3 months until the whole spiel starts rolling very well, even without your input. So that's 6 months of grind and living frugally, but then you can hire someone and you have that person be implemented in your business well enough so they basically, for example, do the lead gen for you. Of course, there's always hiccups that they quit after 2 months just when it got well and so on and so forth. And in the greater scheme of things, if you say you're 50 years old and you spent your time from 23 and a half to 24 years old just grinding, you're like, fuck it. For me, it was, and it's actually a video that I want to do in a reel. It's going to be called something along the lines of like secret trick I did in my 20s that made me successful. You know what my secret fucking trick was? I had no weekends. That was it. Like from 21 years old to probably 27, I just had no weekends. I'm like, I don't respect weekends. I don't respect fucking holidays. I don't respect my own fucking birthday. I didn't have time off. I didn't have fucking New Year's Eve. Hell, New Year's Eve, I was happy if I go to bed at 9 p.m. because I couldn't handle it anymore. And that's a very extreme version. And I'm not saying you guys have to do that for that long. Certainly not, because you have me. So I had to figure this shit out myself. You have me, so you can do it within half a year to a year if you're lucky. Because again, there's always shit that can happen to you where people quit and shit like that. We have, for example, here the Exity brothers. They were just about to crack it, and then shit for one happened where they kind of got semi-scammed with some ads company, and then they had an issue again with someone who does their lead gen, and so there are setbacks to that. I fucking get it. And to get back to the point, like I didn't have fucking weekends, because when I'm 30 and I'm making millions on autopilot, I'm not going to cry after the fucking weekends that I didn't have in my 20s. What was I going to do over those fucking weekends anyways? What was I going to do? Watch The Simpsons, drink beer. Like, I'm not doing something life-changing on those weekends, but if I work on my business, I'm doing something fucking life-changing. The moment I started launching The Natural and I started making money, I didn't cut out weekends either. I was still crushing it. And then at some point, like I started having weekends. A month later, I was like, yeah, I didn't miss anything. Weekends are cool, I guess, but it already paid off. Like a month of weekends after 6 years of no weekends, I was like, already paid off, already happy about it, already have no regrets. This is epic.
Yeah, that's sick, man.
Gotta grind it out for a year, man. But what's that year gonna be? Who cares? You'll not even remember that fucking year. It'll just be a blur.